Hi, in this video I will be talking to you about how to get smarter. Basically, I began typing in the previous video about how to get smarter. I began typing many words, so I'll just simply read them to you now. Are you too simple-minded? Do people call you blue? Oh, Daniel, he's a blue. He doesn't know what's happening. Alright. Are other people smarter than you? Do you not understand what other people mean when they speak to you? How to get people wisdom or people wise? How to spot verbal bullies? I challenge you to read Proverbs or just listen to it on your iPod. I went to a church one time and a pastor spoke about intelligence. He said that there were people that were not too intelligent, and that 2 or 3 years after reading the Bible, they became more intelligent. It took me about 3 years of reading the Bible to get more intelligent. I also read about Confucius and Lao Tzu. One of them said that when I teach Lee one thing, he learns 2. When I teach Chan one thing, he learns 10. Alright? So from whatever you're learning, or whatever movie you're watching, whatever video you're looking at, learn 1 thing, or 2 things, or 10 things. I also began to ask myself questions like, what is God up to today? Why is he sending these people to see me? Why is this old man visiting me? What is the purpose? And many times it's we have to help them or they have to help us. But sometimes people don't even know what's happening. They don't know why. For instance, the lawnmower broke down, or it wouldn't start this year. So this man that's an electrician fixed it. The spouse met him through a friend. But when I went to pick up the lawnmower, and I couldn't get out of it because I was in the car with the spouse when she got the phone call, so she just took me over there. I looked at the man and I said, gosh, electric van? A few years ago, I needed my battery wouldn't start the car, or my starter, something didn't start the car. So a man with an electric uniform, an electrician, a man that appeared to be an electrician, with a van, an electric van, just like the one I saw at his house, gave me, and looked just like this guy, gave me a jump. And that was only 5 years ago. And actually more like 7. And I'm thinking, is the world so small that it's the same guy that lives a few houses down from here? I think so. Alright? So then I say, what is God up to today? Why am I remembering that electrician when I see this electrician? Something strange. What can I learn about this? What can you learn about your mother, your brother, your sister, your wife, your husband, your children? What can you learn about them? Oh, what can you learn about not having enough money? Or you really don't have as many problems as a person that has health issues most of the time. Another question that got me to start doing things. I can't do it, but I could do it if. I could do it if. And the answer, if I read one page every day and made a video journal of my journey about this goal that I have, where will I be 1 year from now if I do these things? If I do these things almost on a daily basis. And here's a thought I had. I think that I'm going public with my thoughts, which I am. I'm telling you what I think, right? I wrote it down, now I'm reading it to you. By making videos of my thoughts and making the videos public, I think that other persons will also become more intelligent. I don't want people to be as ignorant as I was. You understand? By being passive aggressive. What is passive aggressive? Well, if you yell at me, I won't punch you. I won't hit you. I won't yell back. I used to yell back at her, but that doesn't work. She just yells louder and longer. So what I do, I brought my clothes from the laundry and I kept the basket. Why don't I put this basket in its place like my mother taught me when I was a kid? This empty basket right here, I'm not going to move it. I'm going to make her come and get it. Yeah. Now that's a very tiny passive aggressive, isn't it? Anybody else would say, well, that is not being passive aggressive. It is being passive aggressive. You eat on a plate, wash it afterwards. You know? If you don't do it, then you're being passive aggressive. Lazy or something. By being passive aggressive, I've made this particular wife suffer. And then 2 times, she defeated me in our arguments by throwing me in the hospital jail. All right? One time she lied. I mean, to her it's no big deal. All right? But vengeance is the Lord's. I just read that or heard that last night. There were more tips on the Bible, audio Bible. The Bible is teaching me to give food and water to my enemies. Alright, so I don't earn any money. I live in the United States. This family gets $400 or $500 in food stamps. I don't go shopping at all with the food stamps because it's in this spouse's name. It's not allowed. Even though we're married, I'm not allowed to have the food stamp card. It only has to be in her name. Alright? Apparently, the government probably feels, or whoever's in charge feels, that men cannot go shopping for food stamps or with the food stamps, because the men will sell the food stamps and buy beer and drink it, or some other negative. It's a prejudice against men. But I know in one case, somewhat a relative, right? You'll know who they are if you know us. She does not buy the food stamps, the food with the food stamps, because she spends it all in 1 or 2 weeks or 1 or 2 trips. But this guy, he is not married technically. He what he does is he buys the food. He says, we're going to spend this much this week, we're going to spend this much next week, and this much. So, but I wonder why he gets away with it. He probably gets away with doing that because he pays the internet bill, probably. He could say to her, I'll cancel the internet. He could say that. That's what this one usually mentions to me. So I'm learning from the Bible. I'm actually helping my own self by taking food from this kitchen which I don't buy, and giving it to my own mother. I take it on a table with wheels, just like at the hospital. The Bible taught me that some people, like my mother, have knives for teeth. Now, that's not a very polite comment. This means that my mother uses her intelligence for saying things that hurt me, like knives would hurt a body. All right? Now, I'm supposed to honor my mother and my father, right? I'm not supposed to say anything negative about them. To my mother, I'll say thank you, because she did protect me from my father, and she did protect me from being a child without a mother, even though she was yelling. All right? She did protect me. Now, to my dad, don't laugh at people, right? What happened? My mother gets hit by an RC Cola truck. I'm 4 years old. I saw the RC Cola truck in my grandpa's property. The brakes or something was wrong with the brakes, so the RC Cola hit three or four girls. One died. One is in a wheelchair. My mother, she got hooked on the hooks of the truck, so she had her back and legs messed up, but she didn't get run over, so she flew. She was wearing pants that day, polyester, I think. All right, so my dad went to the hospital, and my mother tells me, now that I'm old, right, that he laughed, and he said, no, he didn't laugh. He said, I would have given that driver $5 to finish you off. That was not a nice thing to say, because when my dad was 54, let's say this happened when they were in their maybe 30 years old, who knows, 24 years later or something like that. I don't know what year he was born. All right, my mother was born in 1946. I was born in 1972, and 4 years later is 1976. So from 46, 56, 66, 76. My mother was 30 when she had got the accident. And then I was about 25 when my dad died. How? He got hit by a pickup truck, run over while he was riding his bicycle in Honduras. The guy that ran him over, I think he fled the country because he was a Honduran living in the United States and so on. But he was drunk and things like that. That's what I heard. So don't laugh at people, because it will come back around to you. But yeah, I do say it. My mother, in many ways, has knives for teeth. She told me when I was a baby at 20 years old, right, maybe 19, she said, I'm not going to eat this food. You eat it. There is no more food left. So I ate it, and then an hour later, and I'm still thinking about it, and then I'm like, my mother didn't eat. You're not supposed to. I was a child, because even though you'd say, oh, he's 18 years old, he's supposed to be a man, man, I was about 5 years old when I was 19, all right? My kids at, much younger, and they're not nowhere near 20, and they are more intelligent than I was at 19. All right, so I think that this spouse is extremely ignorant and not very intelligent. She leaves the door open while the air conditioning is on, so that a fly will leave the house. But she yells at me for suggesting to buy a sticky fly trap tape that hangs on the wall. All right? She yells. She's completely disrespectful. And I don't say anything about the door being open anymore, because when we first moved over here, I said, hey, watch it with the snakes, and we had a couple of snakes back there. But she just doesn't think the same way I do. And she likes to yell. Alright, something nice about my daughter. She has told me that you do get more intelligent, Daniel, from reading the Bible because you read so many biographies about people that made big mistakes. Alright, that's what she said. Now, Socrates said that he married his wife because an animal trainer has to practice on the most spirited horse. So then I say, arguments with your wife will make you more intelligent, especially when you lose some of them. And not that you lost, but she went on, and in order to win, she lies about you, and then the police come and get you. All right? That happened one time so far. When I hugged, all right, today at the park, I asked the spouse, why don't you want to spar with me? You told me you would do it. You said 10 minutes. Last time you lasted 5. Today, okay, let's get started. 10 minutes. And then she says, I am angry. What do I have to do with that? And she said, I'm angry at you. And I'm like, no, the only reason she was angry at me was because I asked her if she was going. She said no. Then I asked the one kid, and she said, I'll go if mother goes. Then I asked the other kid, I'll go if mother goes. So she felt guilty and pressured because the kids want to go, but they don't want to go without their mom. I mean, she takes water bottles. I mean, it's a whole, I leave, and then half an hour later they show up. When I hugged this spouse and we slowly fell, when I hugged this spouse today at the park, and then I made sure that we slowly fell gently to the floor with myself at the bottom, right? She on top. She began to laugh. And she said, okay, I'll spar with you. It's amazing, Do you want your children to be able to defend themselves? If you do, you need to do something to teach them. Oh yeah, go over there and learn to swim. No, get in the water. At least get in with them. I know that some of these classes, they don't allow the parents in, but be a part of it. Even if it's just as a spectator, just a watcher, be a part of it. All right? Talk about it. How did you like swimming? Today, one of them told me that he did like I had told him. He cupped his hand. Like this, you cup it, and that you don't have to stiffen your arm and let it hit the water. You could even keep the hand under the water and just cup it. Cup it. And he got from here to that wall over there. So, he enjoyed it. Enjoy your life. Leave a comment. Email me, danieltheteacher@gmail.com. I look forward to helping you become more intelligent. There are people that are trained at argumentation or argumenting. I think they're called lawyers. Some kind of lawyers are that. Very well trained. They can say whatever you tell them, they can trick you. I've always known there were kids that were way smarter than me. By the books that they read or by things that they would mention. One of them, the same name as me, Daniel, he told me his mother was... I was reading the book by Joan Borisenko, And he said, "Oh, psychotherapist." And then I had never heard of the word before, but it was on the title there. And then I said, "Yes." He said, "My mom's a psychotherapist." I said, "Oh, wonderful." So we spoke a little bit. Some kids younger than you are going to be better than you are at some. Everybody has a talent. Enjoy yours. Read about the Bible, and you'll discover many wonderful things. Enjoy. Bye-bye.